If you're a woman over 40, you have tried everything and you cannot lose weight. I have been there and I'm going to show you what to do to fix that. And it all starts with cortisol, the stress hormone. Believe it or not, you cannot just relax yourself out of a physiological stress response. It doesn't work that way. And what you eat directly impacts the chemical signals your brain sends to your adrenal glands every single day. And there is the thing. If you don't address the chemistry, you may not be able to feel like yourself never again. Unfortunately, you will just stay stuck, exhausted, irritable, and completely unable to release the weight that is driving you crazy. So stay with me and I will tell you exactly how to get unstuck. Because in this video, I'm showing you the 5 specific foods that are scientifically proven to lower your cortisol to normal levels and help you regulate your nervous system. I am Selene, and after figuring this out for myself, now I help women get to the root cause of their chronic elevated cortisol, bring it down, and feel like themselves again. But before we dive into the foods, it is very important to understand what high cortisol is doing in your body. So how do you actually know if your cortisol is elevated? Your stress response system is one of the most powerful systems in your body. You may be dealing with things that feel separate or random, but they're often connected to this one hormone. Symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats that ruin your sleep, heart palpitation, dizziness that is making you feel like your world is spinning. Or maybe for you, the symptoms are in your gut. You feel always bloated. You feel constipated. After you eat, you don't feel settled. You feel uncomfortable. Maybe poor circulation, or maybe you just feel cold even when it's warm outside. But the biggest sign is your sleep. That sensation of why you're bad tired at the same time, exhausted all day, then waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning and can't get back to sleep. Your mind racing, and no matter what you do, you cannot relax. Then, of course, is the weight gain, especially around our belly. No matter what you do, no matter what you eat, no matter what exercise you do, that belly doesn't go away. If that sounds like your life, you are not just stressed, you are stuck living in survival mode. So, what is cortisol and what is it doing to create such a mess? Cortisol is a hormone produced by what we call the HPA axis. That is the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal glands. It is your body's command center to respond to stressors. Now, you are probably thinking, it is a stress hormone, so it's caused by too much stress. And you will be right, but this is the critical part most people miss. Your body treats all stress the same. It does not distinguish between a deadline at work or a gut infection, for example. We always think only about mental and emotional stressors, the teenager, the meetings, the traffic. But the physical stressors, the ones that do not involve our thoughts or feelings, keep us as stuck as the psychological stressors. Your neurology, your immune system, your gut health. These physical stressors are constantly signaling your brain that you are under a threat. Your body literally interprets all this as a threat to your survival. And this is why your stress response also involve adrenaline, because your body is just trying to keep you safe and alive. And to do that, it kicks you into fight or flight mode. That is a great system when we're actually under a real emergency. The problem is that most of us live a huge percentage of our life in this survival mode. Unfortunately, we never come back to baseline, meaning regular levels of cortisol. And when we stay in this chronic stress, our our body is producing cortisol constantly. And over time, that becomes incredibly inflammatory. Also suppresses your immune system, preventing your body from healing. It rises your blood glucose, which can lead to insulin resistance. It can even cause depression independently of your serotonin levels. It literally shifts your brain chemistry and your sleep cycle until you are left completely exhausted. Now let's talk about how to fuel your body to break that stress cycle. We are not just picking random healthy foods. To lower our cortisol, we are looking for 4 specific nutrients. First, omega-3s. If you want to balance your hormones, good fats are your friend. Healthy fats keep you full and regulate our blood sugar. And a stable blood sugar is massive to avoid the cortisol spike and crashes. Second is magnesium. Magnesium is well established to calm down that fight or flight response. It's also crucial to supporting healthy sleep, which is when your HPA axis gets to reset. Third, polyphenols. These are compounds that lower oxidative stress and systematic inflammation. And they also lower your fasting glucose. Certain polyphenols can also support your serotonin and dopamine, which helps you reduce the anxiety and low moods that come with high levels of cortisol. And finally, fiber. When you eat enough dietary fiber, you are supporting your gut health and something called the short chain of fatty acids. This fuels your intestinal cells and play a massive role in your brain-gut connection. A trial in 2020 showed that people given these short-chain fatty acids had a significantly lower cortisol response when exposed to stress. Let's put it this way, your gut health determines how well you can handle stress. Let me give you my 5 top lowering cortisol foods. Number 1 is green tea. This is a powerhouse. It is loaded with polyphenols. It contains L-theanine, and literally 20 minutes after drinking L-theanine, it starts lowering your cortisol. And it also contains EGCG, which inhibits the enzyme that converts inactive cortisol into active cortisol. In a recent clinical trial, women with stress drank green tea for 12 weeks. They saw a significant reduction in stress, blood sugar, and cortisol, and an increase in melatonin. So less stress and more sleep just by adding green tea. Number 2, fatty acids like salmon or sardines. These are the best sources of omega-3 fatty acids. These fats are essential brain food that tell your adrenals to take a break. Number 3, nuts, specifically pistachios and almonds. Almonds are rich in monosaturated fats that stabilize blood sugar, and they're high in magnesium as well. They also contain vitamin E, a super powerful antioxidant. And then pistachios, they're just as powerful. They are a significant source of vitamin B6, which your brain needs to synthesize GABA. GABA is the neurotransmitter that have a calming effect in your brain. Number 4, avocados, packed with healthy fats, fiber, and magnesium. Research shows that avocados actually protect your cells against the inflammation produced by cortisol. A dense, rich nutrient way to keep your blood sugar stable and prevent the cortisol spikes and crashes. Number 5, and you're gonna love this one, dark chocolate, but it's a catch. It has to be 70 to 80%. Only 1 ounce provides about 65 grams of magnesium, and it's also high in polyphenols. Of course, this is one of the most delicious ways to regulate your cortisol. Love, using food as medicine is one of the most powerful ways to tell your body that you are safe. But let's be real, food alone is not going to fix this. You also need nervous system regulation tools like box breathing, tapping, humming. These type of exercises that are going to stimulate your vagus nerve, and you need to choose movement that is going to support your body instead of stress you more. And when you integrate all of this is when transformation finally happens. That is when your body finally feels safe to release the extra weight, because when you work with your body as a whole, it stops fighting you. If this clicked something inside you, book your free weight loss audit. We will look into your full picture. The link is in the description. And do me a favor, if this clicked, share it with that friend of yours that you're always talking about what is going on, why I cannot control my body anymore. She deserves to have clarity, and that way we will be helping more women like you and I.